So your story is inspiration to us. No matter how bad and fierce the battles here, we can still emerge on top. From the top of society to the everyday people, we are all in this together.
So it's been almost 2 weeks since the Russian invasion. And how is the situation like in Kiev, where you are?
Well, we are preparing our defenses as far as the town is concerned. We are preparing our defenses. That is, the fact of the matter is that Russians are trying to cut off our supply lines. They are controlling the north. They are trying to control the east, and they are trying to send various diversion units into the west of Kiev, so to cut our supply lines from the west. The outskirts of Kiev in the west is where the battle is happening right now. And basically, as far as that battle is concerned, we are winning that battle, and we are pushing them back whatever we can. The point is they will keep trying, and they will keep moving into our supply lines. But as far as moving into Kiev proper, this column that you all heard about sitting outside of Kiev is stuck there. It's a 40-kilometer column of machinery and soldiers that will try to move into Kiev. When Kremlin decides to. The point is, Kiev is a city of millions, so we aren't just going to lay back and wait. And we are preparing for a fight. And I'm sure, as with previous incursions to Kiev that have been made through the days that passed us by, we will destroy that column too. I'm saying that we are preparing for a siege of Kiev, and we are basically trying to keep the supply lines to the city open to the west and to the south of Kiev. So the point here is that the battle is being prepared for, and we are making those defensive preparation to secure our town against the Russian odds, whatever they may be.
Where exactly are you right now?
I'm in Kiev. Can't give you exactly, but this is basically a place where a few of my colleagues at the moment are, and we are planning sort of a small operation here now.
Mr. Jurash, I saw your gun, your AK-47.
Yes.
Are you getting used to handling that gun?
Yes, very much so. I have the privilege of working with lots of people far more experienced in soldiering than I can ever try to be, and working with them acquaints you with the gun quite fast. But as I said, many other interviews, when you're fighting for your life, you'll learn pretty fast.
I guess this war actually changed your life, right?
It changed the lives of not just myself and not just of Ukraine and Ukrainians, but of Europe and the world. We are seeing the biggest land invasion since the Second World War happening in our country. So the point is, this is changing world politics as nothing else can, and therefore we must show that this cannot stand, and the world shall not try and sit back while Russia violates every single rule of international world order. So the point here is that, again, this is a litmus test for every part of the globe, and we are standing firm to keep international law in place.
Would this somehow link to the reason why you actually become a politician in your country?
Well, yes, but the broader point is the war with Russia is happening over the last 8 years. So in eastern Ukraine, there's a war with Russia that was happening for the last 8 years. So the idea of full-on Russian invasion was not inconceivable. So the point is that our job as politicians was to prepare our country as best as we could to resist that attempt at destruction of our statehood. And basically with Zelensky in charge, President Zelensky, as the man who I joined for the political campaign, that is very clearly the case. Zelensky is showing his showing his willingness and capability in this war, and is becoming fast the symbol of Ukrainian resistance to the entire world, as well as to all the Ukrainians.
What kind of resources or aids do you need the most right now?
Everything is needed, nothing is enough. The point is, from the military munitions and military instruments that we need to try and fight against the second biggest army in the world, to basically humanitarian resources which are needed with the humanitarian catastrophe Russia's causing onto my country. All is needed, all is welcome. And this is very much something that we appreciate the world doing, sending that support. Obviously, much more needs to happen to try and provide for independent future for our country. But as far as the support that we're getting, all is needed, all is welcome.
Do you know where all the pro-Russian MPs right now? Did they leave the city?
I've seen them in the latest session of parliament. They were voting with us for the. I mean, the point in Ukraine after the war for the last 8 years against Russia, it's very hard to truly be pro-Russian in Ukrainian politics. So they always very vehemently deny that they are pro-Russian. If I raise this point to them in TV talk shows and TV debates. But as far as their position, I mean, they were in the parliament with me, voting for those laws that we needed. Actually, they were voting in unison for these laws, the martial law, various military measures to try and conduct war more effectively. So not all of them, many of them have fled, but a good number of them stay behind, and they are voting with us those measures we need to conduct war more effectively.
Korea went through colonial years under Japanese occupation for 35 years and also the Korean War. So we understand how terrible the wars can be. That is why many Koreans stand with Ukraine. Do you have any words for Koreans?
Your example for us is example of everything being possible. I'll just look at the Korean War, the devastation Korean War that was wrought onto South Korea, the Republic of Korea, and the fact that out of that destruction you emerged as one of the world's leading economic powers, as one of the world's leading cultural powers, as one of the amazing examples of success. For us is a story that gives us hope that in this world of ours, with so much tragedy, so much horror, you can still come out on top as a nation. If you are uniting your people and bringing them to that goal of independence and prosperity, which is deserving of any nation. So again, you are for us inspiration that we need to learn from. And I hope that when it comes to reconstruction of Ukraine after this war is done and dusted with, we can try and learn so much more from you. So I think as we go through this very sad episode in our history, we should grow closer to nations that understand us, that have suffered this claim by other nations that they don't exist, that have battled for their existence against all odds, and that can give us that story, which is a story of success, no matter the problems that you will be facing.